So what do you do when you have no threshold? If you have no threshold, obviously the interior sill won't work. It's going back way too far. Threshold might work, but the angle is going back a little bit too far, so we'll set that aside. Exterior sill won't work. And you can see here you have two different types of reveals. You have the first reveal further back against the door, and you have the second reveal further away from the door. We always like to hit the further away from the reveal. That way you can pass the customer's door handle right here. So when the retractable screen pulls across the opening, ideally you would like to pass the handle as much as possible. The extended sill, that might work, but then you can see you got this big ramp that's coming up. That wouldn't be ideal. Hinge sill, that won't work, too much of an angle. So then you're left with these four sill adapters that would work. You have the curve sill, which aligns perfectly with that reveal. You have the oversill that aligns perfectly with that reveal. You have the square sill that also aligns perfectly with that reveal. And then you have the decaloom that aligns perfectly with that reveal. So now you got to ask yourself, which one of these is the least amount of trip hazard for this customer? I would take out the square sill because you can see the trip hazard that will create. Next in line, I would remove the oversill based on this application just because of the trip hazard. And now the customer can decide between the two that you recommend, either the curve sill or the decaloom, to give the customer that nice smooth transition. Even though they had a flat threshold, we're gonna make it as gradual as possible. And what you can also do, you can take a curve sill, throw it also in the front of the application. That way you create a nice ramp, and you can do the exact same thing with the decaloom if a customer is concerned about tripping. That way they don't come up and stub their toe going this way. You do a nice transition going in that way. But that's it for what you do for a flat threshold.